Oh yes, Hunter x Hunter, the anime that changed my life forever. Let's go down memory lane, shall we? About 5 years ago, I was in deep depression, dealing with family issues, my first breakup, and family members passing away, and also working a job I hated. It's definitely the darkest time in my life, for sure. One day, my parents decided to go on vacation on their own, and little old me stayed home, to the house to myself with my two cats. As soon as my mom kissed me goodbye, I pulled out the driveway. I ran upstairs to the TV to figure out what to watch. During this time in my life, nothing really made me happy, genuinely. I've tried countless times to fix it, but nothing worked. So I mainly stayed in my bed and did nothing. But this specific day was different. If I logged on to Crunchyroll and started scrolling through the categories, I first started on Bleach, then dropped it. Went back into the app to scroll again and saw Hunter x Hunter. I had my eye on this anime for quite a while, but never actually started it. I've heard numerous great things about it, but I personally never really gave it a shot. I clicked on episode 1 and began peak. Right away, I was hooked. From the get-go, I love how the series doesn't wait and it's straight to the point. Gon, a small, curious kid wanting to find his dad and to see why he left him to become a hunter. And you also have a silver-haired kid named Killua that was born in a family of assassins. They eventually become friends early on in the series. And I gotta say, man, these two goats right here may be the best friendship duo in anime. Like, bro, they are literally so wholesome and thoughtful between each other. It honestly feels like a genuine bond. None of some corny, cliche shit. But these brothers are willing to do anything for one another, even if it's death. Then you have characters like Kurapika, Leorio. They are also well written as well. Also, the world building in the show is what really grabbed me. From the dangers of the hunter exams to a game world like Greed Island. As I was watching this anime, I rarely don't feel this way, but I began to feel totally immersed into this world. I felt like I was on some grand vacation. And genuinely, on some corny shit for real, I wanted to meet these beloved characters in real life. To me, this was true escapism. It truly unlocked a true freedom, if that makes sense. That was missing in my life for so long during that time. I finally felt happiness for the first time in a long time. These characters feel so real and authentic to me. You have Kurapika with his goal to exterminate the Spider Clan, Gon finding his dad, and what it means to be a hunter. And you have Killua, on the other hand, running from his past. And a guy like Leorio just here for the adventure and just aiding his friends along the way. I feel like each character in the show feels as important as the main character. I mean, hell, we had our own Kurapika arc, the Phantom Troop, which was a 10 out of 10 arc, by the way. If you know that shovel scene, which was pretty peak, if you know, you know. And I gotta say, the villains. The villains are also really interesting. They have their own, interesting character arc, and you start to understand, their complex values and morals, navigating the world, the big world of Hunter x Hunter. But then you have some others that we won't really discuss. But yeah, these series, man, this series right here, man, is such a blessing, man. From start to finish. And to me, it didn't really have any slow points like that at all. But on a side note, let me get back to that finished statement, though. I mean, we all know that Hunter x Hunter isn't finished, and we're still waiting for Togashi to once again get off his hiatus train. But hey, a brother like me, I'll gladly rewatch Hunter x Hunter, because it's honestly that good. And as I was watching Hunter x Hunter, it also taught me like so much in life. Whether it's valuing friends, family, and I'm talking about, and also finding honestly, like a real genuine friends. And also not being afraid to try out new challenges and just explore the world and try out new things. I believe this anime, unlike some animes out there, is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime anime. Honestly, I'd recommend this anime to anyone who loves a compelling story and characters. And I forgot to mention, Hunter x Hunter has some of the best action scenes in all of anime. You have Gon versus Hisoka in the Hunter exams, Gon versus Pito in the Chimera Ant arc, Miriam versus Netero in the Chimera Ant arc, Zeno and Silva versus Chrollo, Chrollo is probably one of my favorite villains of all time. Just the potential this specific character had. And also Kurapika versus Vaughan, which we know, gets memed a whole lot, and it's on YouTube and TikTok and whatnot. But I'll say Hunter x Hunter is definitely big 3 material, for sure. And by the way, if I don't know, whisper this, guys, any Naruto fans hating on Hunter x Hunter, just know Naruto was heavily inspired by Hunter x Hunter. Chunin exams, Hunter exams, just saying. But let me go back to Hunter x Hunter. I really want to talk about an emotional moment that really hit me. There's one emotional moment where Killua and Gon were. This has happened at the end of the series. They're parting ways, and they're saying their goodbyes, and it's just the way Killua looked away, I looked all down, man. How the camera was panning. It felt so emotional to me, along with the Hunter x Hunter OST, and it was just such a beautiful moment where they have priorities in their own lives. Killua must take care of his sister, and Gon must continue his journey to find his dad and to talk to him about the world of hunters and what is out there. Is there a world beyond this one? Are there other beings, etc.? And there was another emotional moment that I love in that series where, you got the coin game, which is really cool if you remember that. The coin game where Gon is basically trying to save Killua from his own family, from the bondage of his family. So Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio team up to play this coin of death kind of game to save Killua. Which kind of shows how far, right, not just Gon, but Kurapika and Leorio, how far they're willing to go for their friends. Like I said, it's not on some Sailor Moon, oh, power friendship, yeah. Like, it's literally genuine, I honestly give a fuck. In that other scene, even earlier in that specific arc, where Gon was willing to be punched in the face by that girl. I don't remember her name, but I'll definitely edit this in. He was willing to take a beating, getting back up to save Killua. Was asking her, where is he? Where is my friend? I must save him. And I think Gon is mischaracterized a lot in the anime community, because Gon is looked up as like a psychopath or sociopath, and I don't think he is. I think it's a 11-year-old, right? That's never seen, death, or that never really struggled ever in his life. And once you see him face those challenges, I think it is natural for him to go to that extreme, because I think that is anyone that never dealt with any kind of hardship. So they don't know how to navigate that. They don't know how to handle that mentally. And so every time Gon goes head in first for his friends, even if it means death. And that, to me, it's extreme, but I think it shows how human a lot of these characters are, that they're not always going to make the perfect decision, Of course, we know, obviously, that Kite scene in the Chimera Ant arc, where Gon was basically like, screw it, you killed my friend Kite, I must put you down, Pito. And you just see the rage in his eyes, man, and he's just, not just rage, but it's complete just darkness. And from the viewer standpoint, it's like the Gon that I once knew is literally gone, right? And so he's just full on demon mode, which makes sense because this is the first time he's honestly lost someone that he knew in his life. And I personally don't know why he gets criticized for that. This is a child, again, going through death for the first time and does not know how to navigate his feelings. He's young. He's gonna lose control. So those are definitely three of those emotional moments that I just described. Just kind of shows me how complex and just well written a lot of these characters are, because even sometimes your main character can be very flawed, and sometimes they can do bad things and lose control, and now they have to start from ground zero. But I will say this: Hunter x Hunter as a show will always be special to me. It gave me happiness. It cured my depression. But most importantly, it gave me true hope in my life to keep pushing forward even when the going gets tough. My life has changed for the better. It made me cry, laugh, smile, and all of the above, man. If you have a similar experience, comment down below. I would love to hear about it. What anime changed your life for the better? And why? Or when did it happen? Was it the anime in the big three? Was it an underrated one? I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. But to close it out, as always, be safe, be blessed, and be good, my brothers and sisters. See ya.